Welcome, Hello on this episode 2. Today we're going to focus on this front suspension. I'm going to replace the seals, check all the system inside, if it's working properly, replace the oil, and then put everything back together. Go!
So the first step is that we count the click that the original suspension had. So we set it up back to how the customer had it, because if he's comfortable with the suspension, we're not going to change the settings. Once noted down the settings, we open up the top cap of the suspension. We turn the suspension around and clean the bottom very properly before opening up the suspension. Clean it out with air to make sure all the dirt is out. Once clean, we can remove the hydro stop from the bottom. Now we can drain all the oil from the bottom and from the top. We slide down the dust seal. Then open the safety clip and then lower the suspension. Now we can remove the top cap of the suspension, take out the spring and take out the dampening rod. Now I'm going to heat a little bit of the outside of the fork tube to make it an easier process of removing the tube. Now we're going to remove the inside clip, the other rings and the old seals. Once everything is removed, we're going to give all the suspension a good clean. I tape out up the end of the suspension so we don't damage the new seals. Put a little bit of grease on the end so it's easier to slide the new seals on. First the dust seal. Safety clip. And then the normal seal. Once those are all on, we can take the tape back off. Slide back on the rings, the snap rings. And finish up with the last snap ring. Here we again heat the inside of the tube to expand the aluminium a bit, to make it an easier process to seat the snap rings back in place. From here we use a special tool, makes it easier and not to damage the fork, and easier to slide back in the snap rings. Once the snap ring is back in place, we proceed to put in the fork seal. A little bit of pressure, a little bit of twisting, and it should go in easily. Now we can place the safety ring. Make sure it's all in and properly aligned. And to finish it off, put the dust seal back on. We once again use this special tool for this just to make sure we don't damage anything. Here we're just doing a double check to make sure we didn't damage any of the seals. Clean all the inside parts with a special cleaner. And make sure everything is functioning properly and the old oil and the old residue is out of the damping rod. Place it back in. Use a little bit of special grease on this new O-ring. And place it all the way back into the suspension. We use Bel-Ray fork oil. Always check your manual to make sure you're using the right type of oil. And we're starting filling it up with 510 milliliters on the bottom end. So slowly pour it in, the oil, and then pump the suspension until there are no more air bubbles. Place back the hydro stop and torque the hydro stop till 40 Newton meters. Open up the top and add the rest of the oil. Always check your manual for the correct oil level. You screw back on the top, and this can be hand tightened. This does not have to be with any torque specifics. Oops, something went wrong. My camera stopped filming. I didn't realize it in time. So sadly it didn't film the end of this episode. I wanted to show you guys how to mount the front wheel properly, because there's a lot of mistakes in mounting the front wheel properly, and which results into bad suspension or leaking suspension. But I guess that we'll have to wait for next time. I just figured out this while editing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you in the next one.